It is officially time to start ripping out this ant room and rebuilding it. I have a whole big idea for it, and welcome to the video where we are redoing this entire room. The first thing I need to do is to clear underneath the table and cut the table in half. Alright, so beneath the table is now somewhat cleared out. The plan is to move this long table, just push it a little bit so it's in the middle of everything, and this shorter table, take it out and somehow push it into that section, because then we somehow need to find out how the leaf cutters can still be connected. That's definitely going to be the big challenge, to somewhat move this temporary without disconnecting everything. But yeah, it's time to cut the table or screw it apart, get the leaf cutters down from the wall and disassemble everything. Okay guys, it is pure chaos. Look at the state of the ant room. It's a complete mess. Now, because I knew I was going to do all of this, I haven't been too good at cleaning. But either way, it's always been hard to come in here in the back because this is always filled with so much different stuff. Yeah, it's all clear. Back when I had to oil the table, we had built the table, so you can see the stain of oil all the way around. This was a DIY project that actually went really poorly. Not sure how many could remember my stories, but you can also see here from the side that this was never a good table. This never worked as it meant to. There was always a failed project, but with my current budget, I had to work with it. So you can see here, this never was a good idea, but it served its purpose. I had put all of the ant colonies I have on this table except for the Noah Metacogarelli. They are down there. So you can see we have the new ants from Antansex. We have all of the different colonies just cluttered up together, all on this one table. And now it's time to somehow work with the paint. Now, initially, we planned, you can see this is where the woodenness were, or the 10,000 plaque from Aesthetic. Now we got a problem already now. So when we started removing we have had this tape right here that hold the tube in place before we decided to just drill holes and connect it with proper, I don't know what they're called, but the proper metal things that actually keeps the tube stuck. We tried with tape first, and this tape worked all right, except upside down. Upside down, it just fell out straight away. But when I pulled out the tape, we pulled out the paint, and now we don't know whether we should remove the gray paint and just paint it green, or we should paint the gray white and then paint the white green, because what will be easier to remove this, because we could actually get some quite big things off like this, right? Just one big piece. Or is it easier just to paint everything white? And also, what should we do with the oil stain? Yeah, the table is out. That's the important bit. Now we can start to work and redo this. Again, this was never a good idea. This never worked out as it was meant to do. But thanks to the magic of not showing it, you never knew that. Or some of you knew it, but not many of you actually knew how disgusting this was. But that's also the plan with the next one, to make everything clear. Because there's legs here, it was always hard to clean. Everything was just bad. I don't yet know what I'm going to do with the carpet, but I also know that I want to actually get some proper insulation on the walls. You can get these acoustic panels that I'm thinking of putting here on the wall instead of these blankets, these moving blankets. These were very cheap. Just put a line and just drop some moving blankets on top. And already now, because look, you hear the sound already now, because I've removed the black blanket down there that was sitting on the outside. Already now the room is getting worse to actually sit in here and talk about. That's also why I'm going to put out a blanket on the new table that's going to be here. So it's going to be the same look with blanket down here, because it works well at insulating the sound, because already now it's getting bad. But yeah, that's the current update. I don't know what we're going to do with this yet, but it's meant to get this wall green, light green, very light green. Then we're going to change out all the lights, of course. That's the next step. So yeah, I'll need to sit down and think a little bit and come back again. All right, guys, so I've talked with some painters that I've bought the paint, and I'm just going to paint directly over it. We have these old things that have hold the lights or the Ancon poster, the aesthetic, the plaque, but I think we're just gonna paint all over. I may want to remove this, but I may also want to reuse them. I don't quite know. No, I think I'm gonna have to remove them, but my plan is now to see if I can remove this, or not this, just take a sponge with and see if I can scrub it off. Not necessarily this right here, because that will be painted, but at least the line we have over here on the white. I'm not too sure whether I want to paint this green as well, but I think if I can clear this off, I'm not going to paint it, but if I can't clear it off, I'm going to paint that green as well. So yeah, it's time to put down the paint protection or the floor protection stuff. It's such a messy room at the moment, it's chaotic. Hopefully, once all of this is done, the room will just be way more effective, way more efficient, way more easily to just come in and work. It'll be more light, it'll be easier to clean out. I've decided not to actually have a trash can in here anymore, because every time I clean dead ants or stuff like that, I put it in a trash can. Now I'm gonna put it in like a poop bag for dogs, like when you take up the dog poop. It's a little bag. So every time I take out the trash, put it in one of those and get it out of the room as quickly as possible, so there's no mite spreading. Because everything in here will also be made to be sterile. It'll be a lot easier to just take a cloth and whatever it's called and just wipe down the entire new table. I went out and looked at it again now. Thing is going to be 5 meters long, and I think I'm still working a little bit on how I want to place the lights and how everything will be. But I'm going to start by just painting the walls, and hopefully next video you see I've cleaned this out and I've put down the protection. So let's hope it all works out. Alright guys, the ant room is a massive mess. We have blocked off the door so we can ventilate the room during the night, because we are going to paint in here. Now I asked the guy at the customer service when I bought the paint that it needed to be safe for animals, so it's like allergic. It's like it shouldn't react for people who are allergic to stuff. It's also without a scent or something. It has the 3 big logos. It had like 3 good things, so it's also a little bit expensive. But I tried Googling on YouTube what would be best, and YouTube said both are fine. To just paint completely over this. So I'm just gonna paint over this line, because then it's easier for me, and I am a lazy man. But yeah, I'm going to have one of these cables running down to the light. Of course, we're gonna have a table up here or something with light, but I think I'm going to put a little plastic thing all the way down and then paint it once I have the shelf down here. So it will be painted and you won't be able to see it on the wall. But it is officially time to start painting. We have the protection on the floor. We have some of the protection on the ceiling as well. So yeah, paint time. Alright guys, I am halfway naked because, well, you got a lot of paint on you. Sneak peek, that's the new color. Whoa. So how did it look? Well, it's a lot of a different color. So this is only the first layer, meaning of course once the second and potentially also third layer comes on, it'll be a lot more green. Right now we can really see where I've painted, and the more dries the uglier it gets, which is to be expected. That's at least what I learned last time. But you can't see, compared to the white, you can't really see it's green here, but when you see it next to the white, you can really see it's really green. And of course before it was so dark, and already now when I'm walking in the ant room, it's just such a more bright room, which is just lovely. It's what I needed. Once it's complete, everything will be white now, so it should be a lot more just pushing power and happiness towards you instead of the dark, depressive color we got before. So hopefully all of this will help the room be a lot more happy when you're sitting in here and editing, just for an overall more happier experience. So yeah, I think I'll do an update again once tomorrow morning I'm gonna put the second layer, and hopefully tomorrow evening I'll put the third layer on, and hopefully that should be it all complete. I mean, I could almost put the first layer on or second layer on now. I mean, it dries really quickly, this paint, it seems, or maybe I'm just putting too little paint on it, I don't know. But yeah, update once painting is finished. I tricked you. I do want to say all of this work you've seen up until now in this video have been from day one. So yeah, we've ripped the iron table apart, put all of the iron colonies over here. I have to feed them somehow now. And yeah, we've also painted the walls, bought the paint, looked at once more at the table I'm going to be buying. So yeah, all of this is day one. Hopefully day two will be finished with painting. Let's see. All right, time to skip to the finish of painting. Hello guys, and welcome to day two of rebuilding the ant room. I've given it the second coat of paint earlier today, and to be honest, I like it so much that I don't think I'll give it a third coat. Also because I don't think I have enough paint, but yeah, as you can see, we have this lovely cage because we are ventilating the ant room, and of course we have cats we don't want to get inside. So right in there, it's a mess, it's hard to get in and out. And I actually almost thought of putting up the shelf today, because we went out and bought the wood and got it cut to size. We messed up, which I'll show you in a second. But I thought of putting up the shelving today, but I want the paint to have a few days to dry because I know there's coming a lot of dust because this is concrete, meaning when we drill there's a lot of dust, and if the paint is wet it may suck the dust, which I don't like. And of course we don't like that because then we can't clean out the dust because it's inside the paint. In here it is all chaos. I've put down the new ant table. I put the shelving on top. I realized I had made a mistake. I'll show you that in a second, but I've just lined out all the legs right here. And I think I'm gonna drill the legs in or screw them in and flip the table over, and then I'll putting the shelf on top so you can see what the vibe is. But you can see right here, it is a little bit smaller than the old actually. The short piece here is the exact same length, but this over here is actually almost half a meter shorter. So it's a little bit shorter, but it should be fine, I will have one leg here that will connect the two pieces so they move in sync. At least that's the goal. Of course, I won't put this on the final leg right there until the ant table is inside the ant room and it's all ready for that final leg. All right, the work continues, but as you can see, we have now assembled the new ant table. So as you can see, we have we have 6 legs on this, or six legs. We have 4 on this, and then we have a 1 in here that's going to go between. Now I do believe that this here is a little bit too wobbly, as you can see right here, a little bit too wobbly perhaps. Hard to show. Right here, so this here is a little bit wobbly, so I may just put a piece of wood down here to put them together, because this legs only support this side and not this side. Technically I could also just move this leg to place it in the middle, or buy another leg and put right here. I'm yet to find out exactly what I want to do, but this whole section in here is not supported by anything but this leg. So that's why I have this leg here, but I should maybe take this leg over there, take another one here, maybe buy 2 more legs. But that's not what I want to talk about right now, because that's for the future to decide. What I want to show is this up here. So I'm gonna have pretty much double the real estate, because all of this will also be space for ant colonies, which is gonna be on a shelf on top. A little bit messy right there, it's my cat's pooping area. But yeah, we have the big table right here in the bottom, which is 45 centimeters. And then we have this 30 centimeter shelf. Stupid cat. And then we have this 30 centimeter shelf up here, which will be like, I don't know, 40 centimeters above, which will have light. So there'll be light all the way under here, giving light, running a light all the way like this, up here, all the way like here, which will give a good lighting on the table underneath, which will give the perfect lighting for all of the ants underneath. I'll also be able to run things as USB power and normal power if it's needed for heat cables and different things. This could technically also just be down here, but yeah, to be continued. But either way, the reason I have this wall right here is because if you just put light, if we imagine just this here's the shelf, if we just have light right here, it's gonna be annoying and shine out on me. So instead, boom, now you can't see the light. So you can't see the light, and if I have power or different things, you can't see it either. And I'm going to have it around this area, because then you also have a little bit of protection up here. Now, the shelf up here is not going to be meant for ants, but stuff like a Wakushi satin can be up here without any issues, but it's also meant to be where my maintenance things will be. So I can have a tweezer set for the colony that's down here, a tweezer set for the colony that's down here, a tweezer set, you get the point. And to be honest, my first concern is that these here are a little bit big. Ideally, I would have liked it to be like this big. But then, I mean, this was just the residue of this initial table down here. It was 60 centimeters in the beginning, so it was actually this big in the beginning. So that's why we cut it off. And I thought that this would be the perfect fit for right here. If I put it in the middle, it may be a nice fit. I'm not yet too sure. But I will have to put the table in the ant room to find out how high the shelf will need to be, because the further up it is, the longer down this needs to be, so you don't get the light in your eyes when you're actually looking at the ants. But the further down it is, the more it will start to shadow on the ants. So it's something I need to think about. And half and half, I also want to cut these in half. But it's going to be hard to cut this in half because it's 2 meters and it's 2 meters and 28 centimeters long, I think, 2 meters and 28. And I don't know if I can cut that straight for that long of an area. I mean, I have a round saw, but last time I used it, it didn't go too well. So to be continued. Maybe I'll saw this in half. I'll have to figure that out. Oh my god, guys. This project just took a 180 and a 180 again. We put the table in. By the way, look at the paint now. It's funny how gray it looks, and then when you get the like white, it looks very green. To be honest, I'm going to be honest. We bought this color right here. We bought this color, and it was like in the room. It had like a little bit of a green tint. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't the right amount. And when we painted the walls, we were like, damn. Or when I painted the walls, but when I painted the walls, I was like, damn. That's a lot more green than I expected. A lot more green. And I was like, that is not this color. And then I went over. It's funny how little it looks so gray on your screen. It's so green like. Look, it's so green. Either way, it's giving a bit more of a strong vibe than what I initially planned. By the way, I painted it this morning. It's already dry. I don't know why, but it's dry. I'll wait with drilling till tomorrow, and tomorrow is officially Halo Day with my brother, so maybe not tomorrow, we'll see. But either way, so what have I done? Well, let me explain. This is the extended version of the Ant Holford podcast coming for a short return with video. Initially, I had planned a 30 centimeter thing to be around here to shine light down on this. I worked a lot back and forth, and I know because I do this all the time, look down, look up, look down, I would smash my head, and that wouldn't be too bad, but I would rip this away from the wall. So we found this. We had so many different pieces. This is 20 centimeters, and if I put it around this area, can I just, oh, hang on, I can't. Here we go, wide angle. If I put it around this angle, I shouldn't smash my head on it, and we can also still put light right at the edge. So we should get a nice light right down here, and it would be quite tall, but still at a height where I'm just standing very normal right now. So it's just like a normal height for me, meaning I can look in and see the tweezers and all the equipment, and potentially an ant colony if I put one up here. I think like founding queens, young colonies, bull ant, the neat queens that need extra time and care would be placed up here, because I would be less vibration up here. But it's a nice height. I just need to find the good light which can shine down here without any struggles. And the thing is, since I've actually painted the room, the light in here is so much better already. These lights, they are 9-watt Philips Hue, and they're just full power on the like a nice color, and they give such a nice light now. But I will change it because they still give an uneven light. You can see the wall is still uneven, and I want on the table for it to be all even. So what I'll have to do now is I'll have to find the exact height where I'm going to be placing these. By the way, the real piece over there, cut to size. And I actually had to cut them myself, and I just did it. I'm such a pro. I'm kidding. No, it's actually worked. It worked wonders. I've seen some YouTube videos since last time I tried, and they helped. Spoiler alert. Just get the saw thing to just be above the side. I don't know what I'm saying. Either way, it worked out, and I'm a carpenter officially. Now I just need to become an ant, and then I'm a carpenter ant. But yeah, what I'll have to do next time is put out a laser. So I will set a laser around here, put a laser here that will then shine all the way around, and then I can put the top shelf all the way around. Once the top shelf is in place, I can start installing the light on the top shelf. And once the light is in place, because I'll have to stand, you can see there's a table here, of course, and I'll have to stand in here to actually work on the light. Of course, I'll have to sit like this, stand like this to work on the light, but it will be better than having the table here. This, by the way, is of course the corner piece, because we have the corner leg right there, and it fitted perfectly into this section over here. So it's working well. Something a little bit annoying. When I painted the walls gray, I did such a poor job that I actually had so many small gray lines all the way at the top. So now I've made like this green line on the ceiling to transform from the wall to the ceiling. So that's why we actually have a little bit of a green line all the way around. But yeah, it's getting me hyped. It's getting me hyped. I had a moment of doubt where I was like, why did I spend so much on wood I wouldn't need? But now I'm using the 4 wood pieces. I'm using all 4 wood pieces once again. We have a lot of trash, but that's how I always say. I wanted to be efficient and not use too much wood. And we're at a point where I'm using all 4, and I couldn't have done it without all 4. So I'm happy about that. I, for a moment, thought I would only need 2 of them, and I just cut 2 pieces of wood and bought 2 pieces of wood without reason, but it's all good. So, all right. Let's put up the laser in days time or something, and mark out the lines for the top shelf. I still need to find a light as well, but we'll see. All right, so I've now put out the laser, and I've marked, you can see for the top and for the bottom. Where did I put my little thing? I put it right here. So now I've marked the holes like this. So it's all ready to be drilled. It is still evening on day 2 of working. So yesterday we started with removing the table. Today we've painted the second time. We've put in the table, cut it to pieces. And hopefully tomorrow evening we can start putting up the shelf and putting in the top layer. And then in day 4 I can hopefully find the light and put the light in and stuff like that. But yeah, we've got the laser out to make sure that everything is level, and everything is now marked. We'll have 3 carrier things here and 4 on this side. The end table is a little bit smaller than before, but it does mean that I have some room over here that I potentially can use for something. I can put I have a big shelf I can put here that is currently outside, which is a little bit annoying. But I'm a little bit annoyed that I'm losing some space for the ants. But then again, we will have this shelving running up here where I can put founding colonies and satin colonies and stuff like that. And technically I can still just put shelving in between. So if I need a satin holder, I can just put a satin holder right here. Boom, there we go. Something like this. Small little satin holder. I don't know why I'm saying satin holder. It's of course super cushy satin. But boom, if we want some cushy satins being right there, boom. It's all up for grabs. I have so many of these pieces of wood, and I'm saving all of them because I know that I'll potentially need them. But yeah, time to drill all of these holes. It is now day 3 of the ant project, and holy smokes, we have some nice frame rates thanks to the old lights. That's something I gotta make sure it doesn't happen with the new ones, because it's been an issue since the beginning with these. Right here we have the shelving put up temporarily, meaning it's not fixed in. At the bottom at least, it is fixed to the wall. It is all pretty much completely in level, showcased by, here we are. That is within what I'm satisfied with. We do have a little bit of an interesting thing over here. Of course, will need to clean these with that brush. Am I satisfied with this? You can see we have a little bit of a lip, and we're at that point where I do not care. It's too little to notice. So yeah, my new plan for the leaf cutters here is actually, of course, we're gonna have to tube here. Gonna reuse these old holes, I think. And potentially I'm just gonna drill a hole here. Down to the table down here where the leaf cutters are located. Here we have the old, by the way, this is the completely ugly mess that I ripped apart, and you barely can see it right here. You can see it right from this angle, but there'll be a tube right here. But yeah, so I think I'll run the leaf cutter, drill a hole here, and zoom up and over there. But yeah, I'll have to drill the hole, and I'll have to buy the lighting and actually mount these probably on. But they have a very nice height, I'm not gonna lie. And all in all, I think they look really sweet. And then we'll have light all the way at the bottom. I'm yet to find out whether I want to use these as things. I'll cut them out so you can't see underneath. I simply don't know at this moment, but I have them, and I can always slide them in half if that's needed. But yeah, update here from day 3. So I've just found out the light I want I can't get. So I'll have to get some different light. And to get that different light, it'll have to be 5 centimeters wide. Meaning I would have to cut these right here just after the screw, which is fine, I think. But also because they're proper powerful lights, they would be 3.5 centimeters thick, which would be all the way down here. And that would then mean I would get a lot of light in my head, meaning we'll probably need to get this and put it up here. I can't really see any good solutions right now. I'm a little bit demotivated. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Okay, I've gone out and bought the light. Actually half my budget, so half the planned budget for the light. I found a much better solution, these lights right here. First of all, they connect together like this, so it's way less electrical work you'll need to do. Same over here, there was this corner piece that followed in the package. Now this is a little bit too short, but as you can see, it won't matter too much because, well, we'll have light most of the places. So what I need to do now is to not fall over all of the ends, but actually wire it up. Now sadly this connection here is not long enough, but I have this connection, this old light right here, that I'll have to just run down from the ceiling and into one of these. Have to connect these two. Ka-ching! So yeah, I'll put it correctly upside down and connect it. Also, I have this down here, quite a small cable canal, and I will put this on the wall from here all the way up, and I will paint it so it matches the color. Maybe I should put it right here to cover this hole. I don't know yet with the side panels if I want to put them on or not. I'll find out when I screw everything and turn it on and see how much light comes into my face. But I think the light should be good, so let's get it up. As day 3 comes to an end, we officially have lights underneath the top shelving. So again, this table here will go over there, but you can get the vibe that you have light up here coming down here at the ends. It'll be very nicely lit. Actually not too much shadowing at all. These are a little bit cheap, meaning when you go very close to them, you can hear a slight summing, but that's all right. I paid nothing for them pretty much. You also have the cable coming up to the old junction box, which feeds into the different lights. And I think still I want to paint this, although it is white and this is white, so I am not 100% sure. Let me just grab this board. And that over there is without any cover, and this here is with a cover. So yeah, cover is, yeah, I will need a cover no matter what. So the question is, do I make the cover smaller? It's like big at the moment, I don't know. But yeah, a cover is definitely needed, and it looks way nicer with a cover than without a cover. But yeah, we still need to sort something out with that thing over there. But yeah, at the end of day 3 right here, tomorrow we can put in the end table and actually move all of the colonies back. I have also drilled a hole for the leaf cutters, so the leaf cutters will come down through that hole, feed down to the table down here. Of course, I still have that right there, but I do think that the new table over here will cover it up, so I couldn't get the old color off, so it was how it was. But yeah, I mean, this is starting to look really sick. Oopsie, all the way back. Yeah, looks really sick. I'll have some different lights in the ceiling. I'm yet to completely find out what lights I want, but I'll have some different lights in here. And of course, I've also actually looked at the prices of acoustic panels instead of this. And one store sold 9 panels at the same price as the other store sold 2. So I think I'll buy that batch with 9 panels and somehow put in an acoustic wall on this wall right here. So yeah, this over here is looking really nice now. It is now the very chaotic day 4 of rebuilding the ant room. I put up the underlined thing so you can't see the light, and it looks so much better. We do have a few beauty mistakes. For some reason, I can't seem to line these 2 wood pieces up. They just don't want to. Maybe I'll fix that in a later day. And then over here, we sadly got a little bit of damage on the wood, which hopefully can be painted a little bit. But yeah, it's time to now clear this table, put this table over there, get the other table in, and actually move the ant colonies back and clear out the ant room. This is not the project is not at all finished, but the ants can finally go back home again. Surprise, surprise, the ant room is still a giant mess. But look at this. We finally have the colonies back on the table. I can do the maintenance. I decided not to do it yesterday, even though it was meant to be done yesterday, but now everything is on the shelves. And already now, when you look at the colonies, there's just so much light. You can really see what's going on, which is so lovely. We have the same even light all the way over. I mean, you can see the reflections, which you will no matter how, and that's how it is. But yeah, so when I say this project isn't finished, what do we still need to do? Well, we still need to put a curtain on this area down here so we can have storage area down here. And I still need to change these lights to some industrial lights that will be in the ceiling instead. And the wall over here will need to be changed out with an acoustic panel wall instead of these blankets. So yeah, there are still a few things to do. But here on day 4, the ants are actually back on the shelf, which is quite fast. Also, now you can see that the paint is scraped off. I should never have scraped it off, but I'm satisfied with the look. It doesn't look too much. Doesn't look too bad when you don't look at it. And the leaf cutters can now go all the way up and around, down through the shelf and over here. Again, hopefully I'll get some new leaf cutter setups at one point in my life. We'll see when that is. I actually should have done the table just 5 centimeters larger down here, which was also planned part of the time, but I forgot in the end. Which is fine, because most of the colonies don't need the space, but the leaf cutters here could use it. But again, this setup should not be here forever. So yeah, sensitive ant species can be up here, like the bull ants, who are currently in a recovery mode, and less sensitive species are down here. So yeah, I'm definitely a little bit tired now. And we still have lots of work to do. Still have to clean up so much stuff, but it's how it is. It's looking good. I'm a happy man. Okay, it is now the end of day 4, I believe, and this is the room. As you can hear, I have removed the blankets here, and wow, oh, the audio is terrible already. Yeah, all the ant colony is now back, as you saw earlier, I believe. And yeah, I've been able to go in and do my maintenance. I've also put up these things. This is something I got from my grandparents before I got my first ant, I believe, before I got my first colony. So nice to finally be able to display that again. I got that on my first apartment. Of course, we got this beautiful thing from JSP. Now I did have to drill a little hole here to actually connect it, but I don't think it matters too much. It looks super cool, and you don't notice the screw because you look at the awesome logo. This was made by Pumpkin. She was called JSP before. And I got that at Ancon. And of course, we have the 10,000 plaque I got from EA, which is also once again on display. And I do like that I don't have to drill any holes. that I can actually just reuse the old holes. I think that's really cool. And then of course we have the AntCon 2022 poster right there. So as far as I think right now, I only think, three things remaining, three things. I have to buy some new lights for the ceiling. I think I will go with 4 industrial lights. It's these big LED panels, 2 here and 2 here. And I think that will look very nice. And then, of course, we need to put up the new acoustic wall over here. I'm really interested in hearing how the audio quality will be, because wow, such a step back from removing that. So it will be very interesting. Also, I had put tape here. I had put tape to get this on because I was very lazy. And I'm not gonna make that mistake again because look how ugly it is to remove. Yep, same problem we had over there actually. But yeah, so I'll need to get 2 lights here, 2 lights here. I'll reuse these cables, I think. Should be enough. Should be the same height actually as these, just a big panel instead, which will give the same light as this, 4000 Kelvin, and that's what I'm going with now. These have been running at 3500 Kelvin, and normally in a house you have 2700 or 3000. I like 3000, but in here it's just not bright enough, and that's why I've gone with the industrial 4000 or the store 4000. So yeah, I'll have to get 2 panels here, 2 panels here. And I need to sort out a blanket here, yet to find out what color I want. But of course, this down here is my storage area, and it's so much more clean now. It's very nice. We have my roaches that'll always be in the dark, roach supplies, a little bit of tubing, and then we have all my camera equipment. So tripods for my phone, tripod for the camera, camera bag, and then the big softbox. If I need it, I have this little studio that I've actually never used too much, but it's nice if you want to show something. And we have the lid for the Metabarbers, as well as some old seats. Up here, it's a little bit of the maintenance corner over here with the Static Ants Fluon, and we have the Antics oil base protection and the Antics powder. I haven't used the powder yet. Then we have the little spider in here that I got from Mantis Passion. Then we have the Camponotus herculinus, which is just up here because don't expect them to survive. Every time they get a new worker, their old worker dies. So yep, I've neglected them a little bit, but all in all, they don't seem to care. There's water on the top tube. I need to give them a new tube. As you can see, they've just moving from one tube to another. Yep. I love using these when I'm recording ants to give a black area around them, especially if you record something like this. You get a lot of white reflection, and by putting some black underneath the ants, it clears out a lot of the light. So of course we have another set of tweezers. Then we have all my camera lenses and my camera, and a little bit of the AntPod merch, and the mistake I'm yet to fix. I think I'll put some Fluon on it. Not Fluon. Silicone acrylic. I actually don't know the English word, but a silicone thing. Then here we have my only remaining mantis. The 2 oldest ones sadly have passed away of natural cause. The one failed molding and the other is natural cause. A little bit of a feeding station here. Actually, this is an empty box. There's no crickets inside. Then we have the leaf cutter oil, which always makes a mess, so we'll have that there. It's just olive oil, and then we have some of the sensitive species over here, and some more tweezers. And this is what I use to hydrate the nest right here. So we have all of these different things, and they should just be all lined up, always where they are needed. Falling over the ladder. So yeah, that's. I think it looks. I think it looks cool. I like that it seems a little bit busy, but also organized. So yeah, and then of course the leaf cutters over here that we moved so long time ago are standing right there. And of course, in the future, hopefully near future, we'll get the massive tank, the multi-species tank, to stand right here pointing out. So it is time for tomorrow's project to put up these panels. maybe find some blankets. I'm yet to decide the color and also buy the lights. All right, it is day 5 now. Oh, is the audio better? I'm 50-50. Ordered the lights yesterday, let's see when they come, but it's day 5 and we have an acoustic panel wall right here. So the audio isn't quite as good as before. So it's a little bit of but again, we'll still also get the blankets to go around this side. And I still have a little bit of a acoustic panel remains that I don't quite know if I want to put up or not. But yeah, audio is a little bit worse, but it looks 10 times better. I don't know if this is a thing you do worldwide yet, but in Denmark it's getting really popular to have something like this. There's definitely some beauty mistakes, but when you look at it like this, you can't see any of them. It's the first time I've put up one of these walls and I did not take it too seriously, and you can't tell. But all in all, I think it looks quite cool. We have the table right there. It's about the same height, the table width. If we could clap up, then it would be pretty much, yeah, I like it. So yeah, it looks way better than the blankets. Maybe not as well as a sound insulator, but I like it. It looks cool. It gives a much more professional vibe. So now we just need to get the blanket or the curtains and the lights, and maybe we'll get the curtains today. It is day 5 now, doing a lot of this pretty much every day now, and it's getting a little bit overwhelming and tired. But yeah, thank you all for watching so far. It's like 40 minutes long now, so thank you, and catch you next time on building something, I guess. All right, guys, end of day 5. As you can see, we've put up the curtain as well now. Ish how it looks, but it serves its function. You can't see all of the disgusting things underneath, and maybe I'll have to take it off and like vacuum it or whatever you do to like straighten it, not vacuum. But for now, that's fine. I'm beginning. I've worked a lot in this hand room without actually doing anything with the ants for quite a few days now. This is the end of day 5. My new goal when I'm actually doing maintenance is to use this plate to take trash in the plate, and then use these small poop dog bags and going out with the trash instead of just dropping in a bag like that, because then I can empty it every time I actually take the trash out. But you can see we have the acoustic panels up as well, like I showed you earlier today. I will maybe take some black paint, like nail polish thing, and just paint over the screws. But yeah, sadly the audio has gone a little bit down. The old panel or the old curtain moving blankets things were actually a little bit better, but it's all right. The last thing we need to do is to get the new lights up. Hopefully I can reuse these 2 cables, reuse that cable, and perhaps reuse that. But there will be a few days before it actually arrives. So here at day 5, I am calling the project more or less finished. And I'll just have to fix these lights. You know, maybe I'll guess I'll do a little room tour once I have the lights in place. But of course, all of you who've watched all the way till this won't need a room tour. You of course know the room quite well by now. I think it looks really cool with these acoustic panels. They're a little bit tricky with the eyes, but they look way better than the moving blankets. They were a little bit more expensive than I actually thought. I thought you would get 9 and you actually only got 5, and I've used all 5. I have a little bit of a spare because of course we cut that one in half. So I still have that one. And I actually thought a little bit about putting it on that wall right there. Maybe, who knows. But I think it gives a really cool vibe, and I really like this. It just looks nice around this table. I actually like it and enjoy. The lamp over there doesn't really have, so I'm looking at the, not at you, but at the, but the lamp over there doesn't really have a position to stay at. They can't really fit anywhere, but luckily I have been able to hide the big softbox. But yeah, just wanted to thank you all very much for watching this very long vlog of me rebuilding the ant room. I may add some extra shelves here in the corner because I have this space right here, and I know by the last table that the space were never really used. And of course we can put a lot of these smaller shelves up here if I need to, if I want to. But yeah, it ended up going a little bit over budget. Each around £1,000 or so for the entire thing, with paint, with the lights, with the acoustic panel wall, with the curtains, with the curtain holder. What else did I use? with the underneath light. Of course, this looks like this now, and yeah, I think it looks very nice. And yeah, the only thing that really went out the budget was this acoustic panel, which wasn't in the beginning planned. But when I saw that they were actually half the price of what I thought, you know what, let's go the extra, and because this just looks so much more professional than just having curtains on the wall. So yeah, I want to say thank you all very much for watching this very long vlog of me rebuilding the end room. And once I have the lights in the ceiling, I will do a little room tour walk through where I'm going through everything, I guess. But thank you all very much for watching the video. I will be honest, if there's been mistakes on the way, I am so sorry. I have not edited this video very well. I've just put them in one after the other, and I haven't watched it all together. So I'm going to be honest, 40 minutes is a lot to just make sure that everything works. And I will of course watch it on YouTube, and then I will sit and see a mistake and I'll think, God damn it, I should have watched it and cut it out. It's how it is. Thank you all very much for watching the video. I also actually got to clean this table. It was very dusty, it was very disgusting. Everything here has been cleared. We have this over here is my chaos area, where I have unused nest here. I have unused test tubes down here. I'll show the rest in the room tour, I guess. But yeah, I haven't actually had this shelf in the room for quite a few months, almost a year, because there wasn't space. It was located around here before I got the recording table, and it's very nice to just be able to walk all the way around. But of course, we'll also get the massive aquarium from Aquarium ecosystem over there. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching this 50-minute long video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the room. Can't wait to get some proper lights, because after seeing these lights, they look very nice. They are very white, but I mean, this just looks not cozy, or this looks cozy. That down there looks like business, and I'm business in here. Oh yeah. All right, guys, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.